today's topic is membrane transport, which is very important, not only for the research purpose. A lot of drugs recently have been discovered related to this, and a lot of diseases have been reported. So not only that this is the topic of research, but also a hot topic for the CSIR examination. Okay? So we will learn very seriously, and before that we will check that what we know exactly, how much we are sure about the. So kindly unmute yourself, all of you. Most welcome to this first class of Merit Life Sciences. And this question is very selected question to check your concept only. So if you don't know, no problem. You can guess it and you can discuss with reasons. So the first question is, biological membrane are normally permeable to. Any answer? Biological membrane are normally permeable to. Small hydrophobic molecules. Okay. Any other answer? Why hydrophobic, not hydrophilic? Because outer membrane is hydrophilic. So one option we got. Sonam and KDM. What is your views? So any reason for that? Why hydrophobic, not hydrophilic? B. Yes, that may be hydrophilic, because if you see the membrane structure, the outer one is rich in the peripheral proteins, and then there is a lipid bilayer, and then okay. So I think that is very crucial. You can answer in a perfect logical way. Biological membrane, chalo, we will return back after discussion, when we are going to discuss, and then we will return back, and then you will judge yourself that what should be the right answer. Which of the following molecule is least likely to cross a cellular membrane by simple? All of you in favor of D. Which of the following is least likely to cross? Right. Then carbon dioxide can cross, nitrogen is gas. They can cross oxygen and potassium ion with the carrier, and water is least likely to cross the cellular membrane by simple diffusion. Right. So this time you're right, and I think 16 have two options suggested by you people. So we'll discuss later on, and we'll judge what is the right answer. Again, see the next question and then try to answer. In ABC transporter, what may be the correct? Is a type of water channel, uses the energy of ATP to transport solute, uses gated channel to transport ADP. Is present in kidney tubules and prevent dehydration, is a type of purine. Just try to answer it. What would be the right answer? C. Okay. Uses gated channel to transport ADP. I don't think so. Any other option? What is the full form of ABC? Any guess? What is the full form of ABC? Raj Lakshmi? Any idea? Anyone? Sonam? Chiranjeevi?
ATP binding cascade transporters.
ATP binding cascade transporter. That's why I think he has answered that uses gated channel to transport ADP, not ADP.
So the answer is B. It utilizes
answer should be yes.
Transport.
Answer should be B, because its full form is ATP binding cascade transporter. Okay. This is the energy of ATP to transport solute. We will see in the detail where they are present, what is the mechanism, how they are working, what is their importance, right? So any kind of question can be framed, but your concept should be very clear, right? So again, see the question 19. Which of the following is not characteristic of aquaporins? Which of the following is not a characteristic of aquaporins?
Option A, sir.
Not a characteristic of aquaporins.
Yeah, sir. Aquaporins are integral proteins. They are not transmembrane proteins.
Yes. So this is obviously first one is wrong. The rest you can check by the technique of all of these are functions associated with aquaporin. They respond to specific hormones. They are located in mammalian kidney. Yes. They facilitate rapid transport of water. Yes. So all these are true except first one. Now tell me, the process illustrated in the accompanying figure is called as facilitated diffusion, pinocytosis, co-transport, lysis, and exocytosis.
Sir, option E.
Option A, facilitated diffusion. Okay. But I think
E, sir, exocytosis.
exocytosis. E, okay. This may be exocytosis, right. Okay. Good. So what is the answer for 46? By this exocytosis mechanism, what they are going to transport?
Sir, B, hormones.
Hormones. Process exists in the company figure, the most likely is transferred. Okay. So I think most of you agree with this option. Right?
Yeah, sir.
So moving to the next. Facilitated diffusion require a transmembrane protein, requires ATP, can move molecule against concentration gradient, is typically used to transport a small non-polar molecule, all of this. B.
Sir, option
Sir,
Pardon? Hello.
facilitated diffusion is also a parallel answer.
So option E. What is the right option?
नो सर ऑप्शन ई तो नहीं होगा.
फिर क्या होगा?
I think it's first option, sir.
So maybe the D is option D.
Sir, option
Facilitated
D
diffusion
होगा.
is typically D.
Used to transport a small non-polar molecule. It may be the first choice, right?
Yes, sir.
And can move molecule against concentration gradient. What about this? Remember the glucose
That is
transport.
active transport.
Glucose, that is the
Yes,
active
sir.
transport, but cannot move against a concentration gradient rather than facilitate diffusion occurring via the GLUT transporter and according to the concentration gradient, right? So which of the following? So option D is correct, right? Option D is correct.
Sir, but the facilitated diffusion is occurring via transmembrane integral protein, no, sir. So A is also right, no, sir. Why should we opt D? It occurs via transmembrane integral protein.
This may be correct, and also
So
they are requiring.
how can we decide which is right, sir?
That's why we are discussing now. Facilitated diffusion, and we are going to discuss. We have not discussed it, so
Okay.
we will come again, right? Because I am just checking your concept.
Yes.
I'm not going to answer at this stage, because if I'm saying this and that, again you will be in the confusion. So I'm not doing that. I will teach you proper. I'm taking the lessons, telling you all the examples and conditions, structural details, all that. Okay, which of the following are form of carrier mediated transport? These are very simple questions. What you can say. This is not very tough. Not at molecular level. These are not actual questions from CSIR. Which of the following are form of carrier mediated transport? Carrier mediated. What do you have to look? Carrier mediated transport.
Sir, option D, both facilitated diffusion and carrier mediated RNA transport.
Maybe this. This is again osmosis only, no. Facilitated diffusion, carrier mediated transport, and osmosis. Osmosis is not related to the carrier mediated transport. So option D seems to be correct. What do you say? Any other? Okay, D. Right. So these are few questions. Again, one or two questions more. So let us see. Although glucose molecule constantly diffuse into a cell along their concentration gradient, equilibrium is never reached, and glucose continue to enter the cells. This is a direct result of why they are asking why the equilibrium is not going to achieved. What may be the reason? The very fast turnover rate of glucose metabolism, continuous excretion of glucose from other part of the cells, rapid and continuous intracellular formation of glucose phosphate, active transport of glucose, ability of cell to engulf glucose by pinocytosis. So you can remove the wrong option first. This is our technique of removing the wrong answer. So now, see, rapid and continuous intracellular formation of glucose phosphate. Intracellular formation of glucose phosphates. This may be one of the reasons. B. Continuous excretion of glucose from other part of the cellulose. No. Active transport of glucose. Ability of cell to engulf glucose. No. Option D is totally wrong. Alright. So glucose must constantly diffuse into cells. Read again if you're not sure about the answer. Diffuse into a cell. So if you are diffusing, then you can gradient equilibrium is never reached and glucose continue to enter the cell. This is direct result of. So two options we have deducted, and rest three. What do you say about this turnover rate of glucose metabolism? If so, now, according to your choice, if C is correct, then A should also be correct. This is a direct result of, means what they are saying, this is like enzyme and substrate. What happens in enzyme substrate? There is a enzyme substrate complex, that is transition complex, and then suddenly product is released. So constantly substrate is required. So high concentration of substrate is required. Very similar to that. If you are talking about the glucose metabolism, right? So glucose formation of glucose phosphate formation is the first choice by which they can be internalized. Otherwise, they will not be internalized. Right? Then this comes into the picture A. So option C seems to be most correct. Okay, and secretion is no way, so you can deduct this. So 3 and 4 option deducted. So obviously only one left. Okay, so we'll discuss this concept, how the scientist arrived on that conclusion. Okay. Okay, so let us begin. Which of the following describe how facilitated diffusion is powered? Facilitated diffusion is free of cost. Energy is required to do the work of establishing and maintaining a concentration gradient. ATP is required directly. What do you say? Both A and B, A, B and C. C correct. Okay.
Sorry.
Facilitated diffusion don't require ATP. You are saying, right?
So it is it an active transport or passive transport, sir?
This is not active transport.
So the facilitated diffusion is free of cost, sir.
Yes. All right. So only A is correct, okay? So which of the following statement about sodium potassium pump is true? It transports hydrogen ion out of the cells. It transports 3 sodium ion out of the cell in exchange for 2 potassium. It transports 2 sodium out of the cell in exchange of 2 potassium ions.
Option B.
Option B. Yes, yes, sir. मैं पूछ चुका है कई बार. So I think this option is correct. Option B. Okay. In the co-transport of glucose and sodium ions, glucose molecule are transported down their concentration gradient. Sodium ion are transported down their concentration gradient. The transport of glucose power the transport of sodium. ATP causes conformation change in the carrier protein. Antipode carrier protein is involved. What do you say? Tell me. Co-transport of glucose.
Sir, option A. Option A, sir.
Co-transport of glucose and sodium. ATP causes conformation. That's not true. Antipode. What about the antipode carrier protein?
Sir, it was that there is a both transport system. Antipode means sodium must be move outwards and then glucose moves inward.
And that's what happening now. Co-transport of glucose and sodium means what? This is not sympode. Rather than if sodium is going inside, then only according to the concentration gradient, glucose molecule is coming out. That is the concept of antipode. We'll discuss shortly. है ना?
Okay, sir.
So let us see the concept and then we'll come back to the question. Simple diffusion may involve the movement of, very simple question, a small polar, a small non-polar, large non-polar, large polar water down the
Small non-polar. Just now with this.
non-polar, it should be non-polar.
B, sir, option B.
Small non-polar, yes. Which of the following is not characteristic of aquaporins? They are transmembrane protein, not characteristic. Facilitate rapid transport of water. They are located in mammalian kidney. They respond to specific hormone.
Sir, option A. Already we discussed.
So we saw this question already, sir.
Okay. Yes. So I think this one also we have discussed. So let us start. So we are discussing a lot of facts about the membrane structure, right? And then again, this is the illustration of what can be transported. Everything can be transported in or out of the cells, but there is a different kind of facilities are there. For example, nucleotide can be transported. Even the sugar can be transported via some carrier protein, amino acids by different carrier proteins, channel proteins, sodium, gated channels. So pyruvate is also transporting, means membrane is selective. Make the note also, no? Have a notebook and your pen beside watching the lecture. So this is called as a selective permeability. Means only selected molecule can be allowed, but certain other molecules which are vital to the cells like sugars, amino acids, sodium, nucleotide, pyruvate, ATP, all that can be transported via specific channels of protein. So we will see what kind of things can be transported, what should be the nature. For example, you can see the gases, all kind of gases are permeable to the membrane. Note down, all types of gases are permeable to membrane. Okay, permeable to membrane. And then a small uncharged polar molecule ethanol is permeable to membrane. Why? And what about the water urea? तुम लोग कह रहे थे ये permeable नहीं होगा, slightly permeable है, right? Not impermeable. You cannot use this word. Water urea are slightly permeable. Okay, correct? And then come about the large uncharged polar molecule. What about the glucose, fructose? Totally impermeable. So how many points? Points likhte jao. All type of gases permeable to membrane. Second, ethanol is completely permeable. Yes. Third point, water urea slightly permeable. Fourth, glucose, fructose. Glucose, fructose. They are impermeable, right? And what about the ions like potassium, magnesium, calcium chloride, bicarbonate, Hp4, all these are totally impermeable, correct? What about the charged polar molecule? Oh, so I'm audible to all of you?
Yes.
आफरीन, मेरी आवाज आ रही प्रॉपर? स्क्रीन दिख रहा है? ठीक है,
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
चलो. If anyone facing technical issue, then try to sit close to door or close to window, है ना? So there may be some issue of you can reconnect. चलो. So charged polar molecule note कर लो. Charged polar molecule completely impermeable. So make a list. What is impermeable? Glucose, ions, all type of ions you can see, not impermeable, impermeable, charged polar molecule, impermeable.
सर जो पिछला वाला क्वेश्चन डिस्कस कर रहे थे फैसिलिटेड डिफ्यूजन का,
हाँ,
तो उसका आंसर फर्स्ट ही होगा ट्रांसमेम्ब्रेन प्रोटीन, क्योंकि ये नॉन पोलर तो इजीली परमेबल है.
हाँ.
तो फैसिलिटेड डिफ्यूजन. यस सर.
ग्लूकोज फ्रक्टोज की बात कर रहे हो ना?
नहीं, जो हाँ फैसिलिटेड डिफ्यूजन का जो क्वेश्चन था.
हाँ, वो आ रहा है, उस पे आ रहा है. अभी आप ही लोग आंसर दोगे, मेरा तो मैं तो आंसर देता ही नहीं, आपको पता ही है. आप खुद ही अच्छा डिसीजन ले लोगे आफ्टर द टेक्निकल डिस्कशन. सो दिस इज अ काइंड ऑफ कंपैरेटिव, है ना? समटाइम दे कैन आस्क यू द कंपैरेटिव फीचर्स, which one is the most suitable for the transport of ions. So ions can be transported by channels, and various molecules can be transported by the transporter. For example, uniporter are there, symporter are there, antiporter. We will discuss in the detail. And if you see, there is another system that is called as the water powered pump. So water powered pump is the active transport and where ATP is going to utilize. And you can see facilitated transport of glucose and water. So very simple means of diffusion. But this is a protein mediated transport. Why protein mediated transport? Because protein mediated transport is faster, very faster than simple diffusion, highly specific, and transport rate is limited by number of transporters. Means they are going to behave like enzyme kinetics, right? There is a Vmax, there is a Km, FNT you can calculate, transporter FNT can be asked in the examination, right? So what you have to apply, just apply the concept of enzyme kinetics. As we know that enzyme kinetics, what is happening, the enzyme is fixed, this is the rate, right? And when we are increasing the substrate, then there is a Vmax, this is a V0, and half of Vmax is called as a Km. Km is equal to half V. Very similar to that, there can be, CSIR can ask transporter, FNT especially, and the Vmax, number of transporter. So all that you can calculate if you are very sure about the enzyme kinetics. So there are three mechanisms of facilitated transport: uniport, protein convert between two conformational state to facilitate diffusion across a membrane, right? Protein convert between the two conformational state. So conformational state is going to change, right? And if you see comparison of GLUT1 between GLUT2, GLUT1 is present in the erythrocyte, GLUT2 present in the liver cells, right? So according to the, both are transporting the glucose, but one is having the higher Vmax. Which Vmax is high? GLUT1 Vmax of GLUT1 is higher than Vmax of GLUT2, correct? And half Vmax, you can see that is varying also for the GLUT1 and GLUT2. Half Vmax means Km. Km is the FNT. So high Km means low FNT or high FNT?
Low FNT.
Low FNT, right? This is a low FNT. And low Km means high FNT. Right? So they can ask you, they can give you the question and they can ask you Vmax about the FNT of transporter, and they can ask you which out of the two transporter will transport maximum number of glucose, liver cell or erythrocyte. Tell me. So based on the graph, GLUT1, okay, GLUT1 having the higher Vmax, so they will transport maximum number of glucose, So the scientists are studying the various kind of transporter, their FNT, their affinity, also their how much they can transport the glucose, how efficient they are. So based on these discussion, you can see different kind of glucose transporter are they are present in the body system. For example, GLUT1 is present in brain, kidney, placenta, RBC, and GLUT2 same liver, pancreatic, beta cells, small intestine, kidney. याद रहेगा आपको BKP GLUT1, BKPR, brain, kidney, placenta, RBC, GLUT2 LP, LPS, IK. ठीक है, LPS, IK. Liver, pancreatic, beta cells, small intestine, and kidney. Okay, and this BKP, GLUT3, BKP, GLUT4, heart, skeletal muscle, adipose tissue, heart, skeletal muscle, adipose tissue, HSA. GLUT5 exclusive for the small intestine, and SLGT is small intestine and kidney. Okay, SLGT is related to the small intestine and kidney for the active uptake and deabsorption of glucose. Okay, so GLUT1 brain, kidney, placenta, RBC, GLUT2 LPS, IK, GLUT3 brain, kidney, placenta again, and GLUT4 is very important because they are present in the heart, skeletal muscle, adipose tissue, insulin, stimulated uptake of glucose, right? So you have to remember this because sometimes they are going to ask the role of which glucose intestine, which GLUT transporter is there in the intestine, in the liver, GLUT2, in the intestine or adipose tissue, small intestine, SLGT1, no GLUT is present, okay? Small intestine, GLUT5. GLUT5 is there beside SLGT1. So heart, skeletal muscle, GLUT4, you have to remember, right? So these are the some classes of membrane protein already we have discussed: peripheral protein, integral protein, transmembrane protein. Transmembrane protein, various transporter proteins are existing like channels, permeases, like pumps. Peripheral protein loosely bound to surface of membrane, and this is important for the surface diagnostic of any antigens. And integral protein penetrates a lipid bilayer, usually crosses 4 membranes. So basically, transporter protein are transmembrane protein, right? So what is the function of membrane protein? You can see a little bit function. Already we know ion channels allow flow of ions in and out of the cells. Carrier selectively move polar substance across the membrane transporter. A receptor is specific to various molecules, right? And function is to bind the ligands. Linker help anchor cell together by bonding proteins or filaments together. Cell identity marker, basically glycoproteins and glycolipids. They recognize other small cells in the tissue formation, recognizes foreign cell blood types. So they are acting as the cell identity marker. Sometimes this question is asked. Okay, so membrane permeability, selectively permeable. Only some substance can pass across membrane. For example, permeable non-polar, non-polar uncharged molecule. Non-polar uncharged molecule is permeable. For example, oxygen, CO2, steroid. Oxygen, CO2, steroid. Okay. Non-permeable ions, large polar molecule. Slightly permeable, water and urea. Already we have discussed, but this is more clear. What is permeable? Non-polar uncharged molecule. For example, oxygen, CO2 and steroid.
Non-polar uncharged.
हाँ, अब आपका आंसर मिल जाएगा when we are studying the chapters, discussing the chapters, then you will get your answer. Not only you are getting the answer, but also you will get more information regarding membrane transport and diffusion. Already we know this is a down concentration gradient, and it depends on what? Diffusion depends on various factors like temperature, mass of diffusing substance, surface area, diffusing across, diffusion distance, and last stiffness of concentration gradient. Okay. So these are the factors which are affecting the diffusion. And what are the diffusion? There are two types of diffusion: simple diffusions and facilitated diffusion. Right? The substance move freely across a membrane. Right? For example, gaseous exchange, some type of waste are involved. They can diffuse by the simple diffusion, in which non-polar hydrophobic, small, uncharged, and uncharged polar oxygen, CO2. Nitrogen gases, fatty acid, steroid, fat soluble vitamins, water, urea, small molecules. So they move freely across the membrane. Some are highly permeable, some are partially permeable. They are moving. And facilitated diffusion using a membrane protein as a carrier to give a ride across the membrane. And the nature, what should be the nature? Nature should be true polar or highly charged, right? So facilitated diffusion, one feature you can note it down, that they must be highly polar, they must be highly charged, right? And then by the protein, some protein, they can move across the membrane. So I can show you the detailed illustration, but before that, this was a question in our mind that whether we can calculate the affinity of transporter. The answer is yes. You can see if the question is asked like this, out of simple diffusion and carrier mediated diffusion, which one is the best? So rather than guessing, you can, based on the rate of transport, you can say that which one is best, simple diffusion is faster or carrier mediated diffusion is faster. Which one is having the Vmax? Tell me, based on this graph.
Simple diffusion, sir.
I'm asking that based on this graph, what you will say? Which one is having the higher rate of transport, simple diffusion or carrier mediated? Any guess?
So simple diffusion.
Vmax is absent. Vmax is absent in simple diffusion. Then how you can say? There is no Vmax. Right? Only the protein carrier mediated transport will have the Vmax. That's why the best one is carrier mediated diffusion, because you can calculate the half Vmax also. That is the FMT Km. But in simple diffusion, you can say partial diffusion or impermeable or partial permeable. Okay, only these relative terms you can use, but you cannot quantify according to the rate of transport because there is no carrier involved. All right. So you can see again the comparison of all kind of transporter proteins: simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion, active transport, and co-transport. So simple diffusion requires specific protein? No. All right. Facilitated diffusion requires specific protein? Yes. Active transport? Yes. Co-transport? Yes. Such kind of matching question can be framed according to the plus. Solute transported against gradient? No. Facilitated transport? No. This was asked in the question. And active transport? Yes. Co-transport? Yes. Coupled to ATP hydrolysis? No. Only active transport utilizes ATP. Even the co-transport is not utilizing any ATP. Sodium glucose. We just discussed in the question. Driven by movement of co-transported ion down the gradient? No. Only co-transport. What is the example of co-transport? Glucose, amino acid, various ions, sucrose, right? So active transport ion, small hydrophilic molecule and liquids, ATP powered pump, and facilitated glucose, amino acid in the Porter's ion and channel, right? And simple diffusion, oxygen, CO2, steroid hormone, and many drugs. Clear? Any question from this? Chalo. So a little bit we are coming to the main points. एंड तक आप देखोगे लेक्चर तभी क्लियर होगा, है ना. दिस इज नॉट अ काइंड ऑफ मूवी कि फटाफट स्टोरी क्लियर हो जाएगी. स्टोरी इज स्टिल ऑन. So gases totally permeable. Again the pictorial representation. Hydrophobic molecule like benzene can cross. Yes. A small polar molecule they can cross. Earlier we are saying no, but yes they can cross. But this would be small polar molecule. Right. So a small hydrophobic molecule, small gases they can cross. Large polar molecule cannot cross, like glucose. A charged molecule cannot cross. Right. So you must not confuse. In a very simple question, any mistakes will be dangerous. So facilitated diffusion differ from passive diffusion. How? Any answer? Any kind of simple diffusion involved or passive diffusion involved direct reaction with the membrane. Means they should be soluble in the membrane. But in facilitated diffusion, always they are transported via certain protein molecules or carrier proteins. So there is no requirement of dissolution in the phospholipid layer. And in the facilitated diffusion, therefore allow polar and charged molecule both. Okay, polar and charged molecule, both such as carbohydrate, amino acid, nucleosides, ion to cross the plasma membrane without direct contact, है ना? Because certain proteins are carriers are involved. So I think polar and charged for facilitated diffusion. So according to the class, we can divide facilitated diffusion into two, either carrier protein or channel protein. What is the difference between carrier protein and channel proteins? Any idea? So channel protein, this is the difference mentioned here. Glucose transporter is a good example of carrier protein, right? Glucose transporter, note it down, glucose transporter, very good example of carrier protein. While channel protein, they open pores, they're kind of pores, and they allow free diffusion, right? Free diffusion. While carrier protein don't allow free diffusion of molecule, correct? Rather than carrier protein based on the conformational change. Conformational changes. So, for example, you can see the carrier protein is responsible for facilitated diffusion of sugar, amino acid, nucleoside across the plasma membrane of most cells. Okay, and how the structure, transmembrane segment is maintained in the membrane and how they are transporting. So they contain predominantly hydrophobic amino acid, and you can see the 12 helical transmembrane segments are there, which are going to be polar because they are rich in polar amino acid residue, and they can easily bind to the glucose. They help in the binding to the glucose in the interior of the protein, and that's why the facilitated diffusion is facilitated diffusion possible because of this 12 alpha helical transmembrane carrier protein. What is this? This is the structure of carrier protein. Okay, carrier protein, right? Carrier protein. Any question or doubt? Note clear, there are 12 alpha helical carrier protein in the glucose transport, 12 alpha helical transmembrane protein. Alright, so again you can see, you should remember what is permeable, what is non-permeable. Large uncharged polar molecule, not permeable. Small uncharged polar molecule, they are permeable totally or partially. Okay, charged polar molecule are totally not permeable. So how the conformational change is going to occur during the glucose transport? You can see this is the arrangement of transporter, which is going to mediate the passive transport, and this is the state A, and this is the state B. And solute is binding to state A, and then solute bonding state B, and then according to the concentration gradient, conformation due to conformational change, they are released from this cavity. So one state is binding perfectly, another state is releasing perfectly. So that's why the conformation change is required. And again, you can see the glucose transporter. Here is the high glucose. They are binding with this carrier protein, which is a 12 polypeptide alpha helical chain. And there is, you can see the conformational change inside the liver cell, and again they are going to release. And this is surprising that only D-glucose can bind to such a glucose transporter carrier protein, right? And the movement is concentration dependent because of charge inner membrane. Solute also become charged and exit as a charged molecule. Okay, so conformational changes must in the facilitated diffusion. What is must? Conformational change is must in what? Facilitated diffusion. Okay, So this is the down the concentration gradient, but via carrier proteins. For example, glucose, fructose, some vitamins, all that can be crossed via facilitated diffusion. So 2018 this question was asked, how fructose can be transported via facilitated diffusion or active transport, or what kind of mechanism is involved for the fructose transport. So what you will say, fructose is transported via, tell me, fructose is transported via facilitated diffusion. You must practice writing. Facilitated diffusion. Clear? So I'm now very fast. Just allow me to make your concept clear. So this is the lipid bilayer, and then you can see the different arrangement are there. This is simple diffusion. Direct molecules are crossing the lipid bilayer, and channel mediated transport is there, in which the molecule are crossing via the channels, and then carrier proteins are there. Carrier mediated transport, these two transport medium is the passive mode, channel mediated and carrier mediated. And in the active transport, this is again the concentration gradient. You can see the arrow in the different direction. This is the concentration gradient, and this is the again the concentration gradient. So if you see, there are also ion channels.
So, sir, previous slide, please. Excuse me, sir. The previous slide.
हाँ आ गए, देखो इसको.
ठीक है सर.
ठीक है ना?
फैसिलिटेटेड डिफ्यूजन को पैसिव ट्रांसपोर्ट ही कहेंगे ना सर इसमें?
हाँ, यस, इसीलिए तो इसको डायग्रामेटिक में बार बार समझा रहा हूँ कि छोटी छोटी चीजों में बहुत गलती है. इसमें मैंने देखा CSIR इज आस्किंग वेरी सिंपल क्वेश्चंस, एंड स्टिल बिकॉज कॉन्सेप्ट इज नॉट क्लियर, तो स्टूडेंट्स आर मेकिंग अ लॉट ऑफ मिस्टेक. और इसमें से सरप्राइजिंग ये है कि कम से कम 7-8 क्वेश्चन आते हैं, and both in the B section 7 to 8 questions, and also you can see at least 4 to 5 questions in the C sections. B and C both having the at least total 15 questions. So good number of questions you are getting, because a lot of exercise is there, a lot of confusion are there, so easily you can be confused. So ion channel, what about the ion channels? We have just studied about the active transport, passive transport, and then ion channel. Ion channel which mediate the passage of ion across plasma membrane, and in contrast to carrier protein, right? So we have discussed just what is the role of difference between the carrier protein and channel protein, and both are in the passive mode. Okay, passive mode. Now I am asking the question, aquaporin is what? This is a channel protein, so it will be actively transporting or passively transporting. Then again what you will say, all type of porine mediated transport of ions, small protein molecule, which is mostly possible in the bacteria, membrane of bacteria, all they are in the passive mode. Channel protein also permit the passage of molecule between cells connected at gap junction. This was asked in CSIR. Channel proteins permit the passage of molecule between cells connected at gap junction. I will show you the diagram. Plasma membrane of many cells contain water channel called as the aquaporin. So especially many times about the aquaporin they are asking what is aquaporin out there. So you can see there are three property of ion channels. Now detail of the ion channels, because this is exhaustive list of ion channels. So what is the benefit? First know the benefit. They are extremely fast, right? Extremely fast, first point. Second point, highly selective. Third point, most ion channels are not permanently open. This is the beauty. That's why they are called as gated. Why most ion channels are not permanently open? Because of presence of gate. That's why they are called as gated ion channel. So what do you mean by the extremely rapid, and what may be the timing? Smallest time that have been noted is millions ions per second. They can flow millions ions per second, not minute, not hours. This is a per second. That's why this is called extremely fast flow through open channel. A flow rate approximately 1,000 times greater than rate of transport of carrier protein. Carrier protein से 1000 गुना ज़्यादा, right? यानी millions ion can pass through per second. And second one, you can see, because narrow pores are there, right? So they are restricting and allowing only specific size of the molecule, for example, and that's why there is specific channel for each one of them. Sodium, potassium, calcium, chloride, a lot of these ion channels exist in the membrane. Clear? So instead of the opening of channel is regulated by what? Gates. That's why they are called as bolo gated channels. And some channels are called as ligand gated channels. What do you mean by that? Ligand gated channels means ligand should be there. What should be the ligands? Neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter is a kind of ligands. That's why this is called as the ligand gated channel. Some are called as the voltage gated. What do you mean by the voltage gated channel? Voltage gated channel. Voltage gated channel means they will open in influence of change of electrical conductivity across the membrane, electrical potential across the membrane. There should be change. There is no requirement of any ligand. Only change in electric potential is sufficient. Potential is sufficient. Okay, and this is enough. So what is the formula that you can apply? If you have to calculate if the concentration of given sodium inside and sodium outside, so you can calculate that if delta G is negative, right? If delta G is negative, then this formula is applicable for the coupled transport. Coupled transport in and out. Concentration is known. Then if delta is negative, right, you have to multiply with delta Gb. Delta Gb corresponds to favorable thermodynamic reaction such as hydrolysis of ATP or some kind of co-transport of compound that is moved in the direction of its concentration value. Just remember the formula. What is formula? Write down delta G is equal to RT. R means gas constant, T temperature in Kelvin, then log concentration in upon concentration out multiplied by delta Gb. Gb means any co-transport of compound or ATP diffusion, that's delta G should be multiplied. And if the overall delta G is negative, what does it mean? It means active transport is possible. Active transport is possible if ATP concentration is given. All right. Okay. So this formula can be asked because when preparing the lecture, always we have to keep in mind that your CSR examination is ahead. So passive diffusion is a spontaneous phenomenon. Note it down. Passive diffusion, according to thermodynamics, as per thermodynamics, what you will say, passive diffusion is spontaneous. Passive diffusion is spontaneous, right? So delta G will be always negative. So this is possible according to the thermodynamics. So what do you mean by spontaneous? Means always increases the entropy of system and decreases the free energy. So delta S is positive and delta G is negative. Clear? This is clear? हमेशा क्वेश्चन करते रहो, ask question, don't hesitate. Asking the question, then it will be more clear. Chalo, let's see the next. So what are the factors that decides the success of passive diffusion? Passive diffusion depend on various factors like concentration gradient, hydrophobicity, size, and charge of the molecule, and in the last, temperature. So how many factors are there? One is the concentration gradient, second hydrophobicity, third is size, fourth is the charge, and fifth is the temperature. याद रहेगा CHSCT, CHSCT, right? यानी concentration gradient, hydrophobicity, size, charge and concentration को CC कर सकते हो, and then HST, right? Charge and concentration, and then HST. HST means the hydrophobicity, as size, and T is the temperature. Is it perfect? So if I'm talking about the active and co-transport, what is the difference between two? And what is the difference between primary active transport and secondary active transport? Any idea? Tell me.
The primary active transport में directly ATP का use, secondary में indirectly.
हाँ. And the best example is anti-porter and sym-porter. Anti-porter and sym-porter. Secondary active transport को co-transporter भी कहेंगे, है ना? इसमें दो involve होंगे, है ना? Primary active transport, hardly is of energy provider, ATP takes place directly, and in the secondary active transport, this is based on the electrochemical gradient, है ना? यहाँ पे ATP, वही हम बात डिस्कस कर रहे थे ना कि वहाँ पे ATP की जरूरत नहीं है. जब सोडियम और ग्लूकोज, है ना, जा रहे हैं तो there is no requirement of ATP because they are moving according to the already stored energy in the form of electrochemical gradient. So anti-porter, also called exchange or counter transporter, and sym-porter, they are going along with the, so both can be referred as a co-transporter, and gradient of co-transporter solute will be generated through use of certain type of protein called as the biochemical pump. So in order to transport the solute in question, for example, for the primary transport, always you will see there is involvement of ATPase enzyme. So what is the unique difference? No ATPase is involved in the secondary transport. No ATPase here. Here is the ATPase. Clear? So ion pump, if we're talking, best example is sodium potassium pump. And what about the sodium potassium pump? A pump that uses the ATPase. जैसे कि हमने पहले बताया. This is the example of primary transport. So always they involve the ATPase. That's why the ATP hydrolysis is there, right? And also generating an electrochemical gradient in the membrane potential. So this gradient you can calculate by the Nernst equation, which is given like here, V is equal to RTZF ln C0C. And if you'll see, according to data, so this was asked in the CSR, 20-fold higher concentration of potassium inside squid axon. Potassium ज़्यादा होता है squid axon के, है ना? Extra cellular fluid drive the flow of potassium out the cell. Inside ज़्यादा होता है, so that's why they are flowing outside. And because potassium is positively charged, then what happening? This efflux of potassium from cell generate electrical potential. अगर potassium जा रहा है inside to C inside and C outside. Okay. So what is they generating? They generating the electrical potential, and since K plus is moving, so this becomes less in positive charge. So this become negative, and this become plus. So that's why they are gaining negative charge inside the membrane. Negative charge. This can be asked in the question, right? Suppose there is a potassium transport across the membrane, across the towards the extracellular fluid, then which portion can be a negative charge? So inside will be negative charge. And so opposite to that, membrane potential opposes the continuous flow of potassium out of the cell, and the system approaches equilibrium state. Then they are going to balance this concentration gradient. So according to ATP involvement, there are following pumps have been classified. P class pump, right? What is the name? P class pump. P, then second pump is F class, third pump is B class, right? Fourth pump is A, B, C. याद रहेगा ना? Ion pump, कैरियर प्रोटीन, चैनल प्रोटीन, क्या डिफरेंस है ना? कौन सा प्राइमरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट है, कौन सा सेकेंडरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट है, एटीपीएस कहाँ लगेगा? जहां पे प्राइमरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट है. प्राइमरी एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट इज आल्सो कॉल्ड एज आयन पंप. आयन पंप आर ऑफ हाउ मेनी टाइप्स? 4 टाइप्स. ठीक है. Why? Because they all are ATP dependent. P class pump, F class pump, B class pump, ABC super family. Is this clear? Raj Lakshmi, Afrin, what do you say?
Yeah, sir, it's clear, sir.
It's clear, huh? So, okay. So again, more clear picture of this pump. So why this is P class pump? This is called as a P class pump because pump is phosphorylated at the alpha subunit, right? That's why they are called as the P class pump. Clear? And what is the meaning of F class pump? F means tell me what is the meaning of F class pump? Why they are called as the F class pump? Because they are the part of F0, F1 ATPase. Because they are the part of F0, F1 ATPase. Where this is found? F0, F1?
Electron transport chain, sir. Electron transport chain, sir.
Yes, inner mitochondrial membrane. Inner mitochondrial membrane. They are located. That's why this is called the F class pump. Alright. And what about the V class pump? Why this is called the V class pump? Because the vacuolar pump, right? Vacuolar pump. And in the last, you can see ABC superfamily. So P class pump is a very large pump. They are covering the wide variety of pump like sodium, potassium ATPase, calcium ATPase, hydrogen, potassium ATPase, which is available in the stomach and kidney, right? And then mechanism is asked several times in the examination. And what is the example of calcium ATPase? The calcium example, very good example of calcium ATPase is SERCA. What is SERCA? Sarcoplasmic, sarcoplasmic reticulum. All right. So what is the difference between these pump and ABC superfamily? V class only transport ions. They are related to the ion transport. Okay. And ABC transport small molecule. Small molecule. Okay. So in human, this is the F0, F1 ATPase. That's why F class. V class vacuolar, already discussed, right? And ABC superfamily. And what is the mechanism of this sodium potassium ATPase? So simply we know that as 3 sodium is going to bind, and there is a phosphorylation of pump by the ATP, right? And there is a conformational change, and then transfer 3 sodium across the membrane and release it on the outside. As soon as they are releasing the sodium, they are binding the 2 potassium on the extracellular surface, and again there is a dephosphorylation and then returning to original state. And because of the conformational change, potassium is released across the membrane and released in the cytosol. So this question can be asked, the sequence can be asked, how the sodium potassium ATPase is going to work. Where is the calcium ATPase? Calcium ATPase is basically available in the sarcoplasmic reticulum and plasma membrane, called as the PMCA, right? Plasma membrane CA, plasma membrane PMCA, right? So sarcoplasmic reticulum, lumen or outer the cells. And what is the location of this V class pump? You can see, ABC transporter, found in bacterial plasma membrane, in mitochondria and chloroplast. Only pumps proton and its activity, sorry, this is related to B class pump. Pump only protons. B class pump, vacuolar, and always you can see the acidity in the intestine because of high concentration of HCl because of proton pump inside the vacuoles. So always you can see specific for the proton pump, B class of pump. Okay, and there is no involvement of any kind of phosphoproteins. This is clear. So B class pump exclusively for the protons, unlike P class ion pump, the B class ATPs is not phosphorylated and dephosphorylated. So how they are transporting during the proton transport? So they are using a specific phosphorylated protein. Sorry, they are using a special protein by which they are crossing the protons in the lumens, and that's why the lumen having the lower pH inside the organelle. Right. So same features you can see in the lysosomal and endosomal membrane, plant vacuole membrane. Right. So this is a kind of ATP synthase. Now you can see voltage gated sodium channel. These channels are responsible for the generation of action potential of long duration. Am I audible to all of you? Hello?
Yes.
So I was discussing P class. So you can classify this P class pumps into the following. Voltage gated channel means voltage dependent. For example, action potential is disturbed, then this channel is going to be disturbed. Right. So that's why the local anesthesia is given to disturb this voltage gated sodium channel. Voltage gated calcium channel, they regulate intracellular calcium concentration, and they are going to part of neurotransmitter release at the synapse. Calcium channel blockers you can use to in certain cases, certain diseases like heart disease, to anxiety disorder treatment. तो वहाँ पे क्या करते हैं? They are using the calcium channel blockers, which are going to block the neurotransmitter, binding and release of neurotransmitter at synapse. What about the voltage gated potassium channel? They constitute the largest and most diverse class of voltage gated ion channel. ये note कर लो. Largest and most diverse class of voltage gated ion channel. They are imperative in generating and resting membrane potential. ठीक है? And what about the voltage gated chloride channel? These channels are present in every type of neurons and are involved in regulating excitability and cell volume. They are also known to contribute to the resting membrane potential. ठीक है? The potassium channel, a very diverse class, largest. Okay, and voltage gated chloride channel. This is also related to the excitability and present in the neurons. Okay, also resting potential. Here is also resting potential. Calcium channel, because they are responsible for release of neurotransmitter. So calcium channel blocker is used to treat the certain heart diseases and anxiety disorder. जो कहते हैं ना कि हमें आजकल डिप्रेशन की दवाई चल रही है ना? देखो आफरीन, सी द लॉजिकल पार्ट.
Yes, sir.
पीपल आर सेइंग कि हम डिप्रेशन की दवाई ले रहे हैं. मेरे पास एक स्टूडेंट आई भी थी पिछली बार. आई विल नॉट टेल यू द नेम. तो अब मैं क्या बोलता हूँ इसको कि यू शुड नॉट ट्रीट, यू शुड नॉट कंट्रोल द वोल्टेज गेटेड कैल्शियम चैनल, रादर देन यू शुड ट्रीट योर थॉट्स. क्योंकि जब तक हम हाइपर है ना, हाइपर थिंकर नहीं होते हैं, देन वी आर नॉट जनरेटिंग, बिकॉज वी आर जनरेटिंग द वोल्टेज बाय आवरसेल्फ, बाय आवर थॉट्स, बाय आवर थिंकिंग, है ना. वी शुड नो हाउ टू कंट्रोल आवर थॉट्स. तो ये देख लो, बड़ा यूजफुल है ये सारी चीजें. राइट, एंड वी विल गिव यू अ लॉट ऑफ डिटेल्स इन द कमिंग सेशंस. तो ये पी क्लास पंप, प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन ऑफ प्लांट एंड फंजाई, ये पूछा हुआ है कहाँ पे पाया जाता है. व्हाट इज ट्रू अबाउट द पी क्लास पंप? So they are present in both plant and fungi. Plasma membrane of higher eukaryotes also, apical plasma membrane of mammalian stomach also, right? And plasma membrane of all eukaryotic cells, calcium pump, and sarcoplasmic reticulum membrane in muscle cells. कितने हो गए? गिन के बताओ. Plant and fungi 1, right? Second, plasma membrane of higher eukaryote. Second, third, stomach in the form of hydrogen potassium pump, right? Fourth one, calcium pump, and fifth one is sarcoplasmic reticular membrane. What about the B class pump? This is called the vacuolar membrane in a plant as well as yeast as well as fungi. एनिमल में नहीं है, ध्यान देना. एनिमल में कहाँ पे होगा? ऑस्टियोक्लास्ट. तो ये सीएसआर में पूछा हुआ था कि यूकैरियोट्स में, यूकैरियोट की मेम्ब्रेन में विच इज द बेस्ट एग्जांपल ऑफ बी क्लास पंप. तो किसी को आइडिया ही नहीं था ऑस्टियोक्लास्ट के बारे में. ऑस्टियोक्लास्ट किडनी ट्यूब्यूल सेल्स. ओके, सो माइंड हाँ, ऑस्टियोक्लास्ट बोन में होता है. इज इट प्रेजेंट इन द बोन. एफ क्लास पंप बैक्टीरियल plasma membrane, inner mitochondrial membrane, thalcoid membrane of chloroplast, and this is the part of F0, F1. That's why this is called as the F class pump. ABC superfamily, bacterial plasma membrane best for transport of amino acids, sugar, and peptide, and mammalian plasma membrane transporter of phospholipids, small lipophilic drug, cholesterol, and other small molecule. ठीक है, तो ये क्लियर हो गया. Now what about the calcium ATPase? Role of calcium ATPase. हाँ, उसमें ABC ट्रांसपोर्टर था ना बैक्टीरियल में, प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन में, अमीनो एसिड शुगर ट्रांसपोर्ट के लिए.
F class of bacterial plasma membrane और ABC.
हाँ, कोलेस्ट्रॉल ट्रांसपोर्ट के लिए ABC शुगर फैमिली, लाइपोफिलिक ड्रग के लिए ABC शुगर.
ABC.
ठीक है. So plasma membrane calcium ATPase exports calcium ion from the cells, right? So this is called as the calcium ATPase. As you know, you have heard about the calmodulin, right? Calmodulin. Calmodulin is a calcium binding protein. The regulative protein is calmodulin. Okay. So, catalytic alpha segment containing an ATP binding site as found in other P class pump, calcium ATPase, calmodulin, right? Rising calcium ion induces binding of calcium to calmodulin. There is a allosteric change and then export of calcium ion from the cell accelerate, and original low cytosolic concentration of free calcium is restored rapidly. There is small concentration of free calcium ion. So how much concentration should be there? Intracellular signaling के लिए कितना कैल्शियम होना चाहिए? Minimum 0.1 to 0.2 micromole. ठीक है ना? The plasma membrane of animal, yeast, public plant cell contain calcium ATPase that transport calcium out of the cell against its electrochemical gradient. So this is the example of P class ion pump, and this is helping in the maintenance of फ्री कैल्शियम आयन इन द साइटोसोल एट वेरी लो.
साइटोसोल में कैल्शियम का लेवल जो है लो होना चाहिए.
लो होना चाहिए, ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए. तो इसको इतना लो होना चाहिए, इतना होना चाहिए. कितना लो होना चाहिए? 0.1 to 0.2 माइक्रोमोल. इतना सफिशिएंट है सारी तरह की सिग्नलिंग के लिए. So that should be maintained, and that is going to be maintained by this P class ion pump, that is the calcium ATPase. So again the P-type ATPase, 3 type are already discussed. Silica, that is the sodium potassium ATPase, vacuolar ATPase, and SPC. All right. So I will discuss more detail about this, but you can see at this time that P-type ATPase is the largest. P-type ATPase is the largest and most diverse. Right. So all that question CSR is going to ask about the inhibitors. Various kind of inhibitors are used to study and used to control. Okay, ठीक है ना? तो sarcoplasmic reticulum में
Yes,
there is a calcium transport. Vacuolar में you can see the proton is transported and maintained in the aqueous membrane, and also here you can see the smooth and rough both calcium is transported. So now you can see there is a four type of ATPases. Gastric ATPases responsible for maintaining the HCl, PMC already discussed, plasma membrane calcium ATPase, SERCA for maintaining the calcium level, SPCA the secretory pathway calcium ATPase, right? Secretory pathway calcium ATPase. ये आपने पहली बार सुना होगा SPCA secretory pathway calcium ATPase, है ना? एक जगह आया भी था when we are discussing the questions, है ना? In one option this was mentioned, secretory pathway, which pumps calcium and other ions such as manganese, zinc into the Golgi to bind to the secretory proteins. Clear? So this was also example of P-type ATPs, and this is again the role of calcium ion in contraction of myofilaments, relaxation of myofilaments, and then how they are transported. Right? So this is a major question that is asked. So because muscle calcium pump constitute more than 80% of the integral protein in SR membrane, so it is easily can be purified and can be isolated, and their molecule that was reported 1 lakh and transport 2 calcium ion per ATP hydrolysis. So the SR and its calcium pump, that is called the muscle calcium pump, are critical in the muscle contraction and relaxation. So release of calcium ion from the SR into muscle, that is important, and that causes the contraction, and rapid removal of calcium ion from the cytosol causes the relaxation. Right? So coupling of ATP hydrolysis with ion pump, already I have discussed you how this working. For example, 2 calcium ion binding to E1, and then you can see here with the help of ATP and 2 calcium ion, they are binding to the cytosolic side with the E1, and then they are changing the conformation, and they are releasing these 2 calcium ion outside in the E2 form. So E1, as soon as they are binding to the calcium, they are converted into the E2, correct? And then E2 is going to release 2 calcium ion.
calcium.
ये पूछा जा सकता sequence कि E1 2 calcium E1 and then equivalent to ऐसा लिख लो 2 calcium plus 2 plus E1, then E2, right? And then E2 releasing calcium, and then again they are converted into the E1. So this cycle is going on.
Yes, sir.
So in summary, what we can say, the phosphorylation of muscle calcium pump by ATP favors conversion of E1 to E2, and
E1 to
dephosphorylation favors the conversion of
E2 to E1. हाँ, yes, sir.
E1. ठीक है ना? तो ये इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट हो गया. सो वहां पे 12 था, एक जगह मैंने बताया था 12 ग्लूकोज के ट्रांसपोर्टर में, लेकिन यहाँ पे 10 ट्रांसमेम्ब्रेन अल्फा-हेलिक्स है. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस है. एस्पार्टेट इज एक्चुअली द फॉस्फोलेटेड at their site. So ये हो गया. सोडियम पोटेशियम ATPs maintain the intercellular sodium and potassium concentration in animal cell. And what is the important part is where there is binding, is this alpha or beta, any kind of different structure of ion pump. So note that ion pump is existing in tetrameric form, alpha 2 beta 2. Okay, so without beta 2 alpha 2 formation there will be no functional sodium potassium ATPase. Only beta, no function. Only alpha, no function, right? So both should be there. So overall process is transport, moves 3 sodium out, note that 3 sodium out and 2 potassium into the cells. And specific inhibitor is there, drug Auban is there, right? Auban is drug there, and this has been asked several times in the CSIR. They are going to bind the specific region on exoplasmic surface of the protein and specifically inhibit its ATPase activity, also prevent cell from maintaining their sodium potassium balance. Any doubt that the sodium potassium ATP is responsible for ion movement was dispelled by the demonstration that enzyme when purified from membrane and inserted into liposome. ये question पूछा हुआ है, right? Enzyme when purified from the membrane and inserted into liposome propels potassium and sodium transporter in presence of ATP. It means this drug is working, and also there is existence of sodium potassium ATPs, and they are going to work either in the synthetic medium or in the natural condition. Okay, बोर तो नहीं हो रहे हो? क्योंकि भाई देखो अब सिलेबस तो बड़ा ही है.
No, sir.
Cannot +2 सिलेबस तो है नहीं. So you have to go into the detail. Then only you are getting something. ये मैंने बता दिया. E2 to E1 to E2 transition. This is the phosphorylation, and then E2 to E1 where the potassium is released. है ना? तो E1 to E2 में sodium will be released, and E2 to E1 में potassium will be released. All right. And what about the treatment of poison that inhibit the aerobic production of ATP? That is use of 2,4-dinitrophenol. बहुत सारे जगह ये पूछ चुका है. Right. So what is happening there? So treated cell actually die. And why they are die? Because protein synthesis require high concentration of potassium. So protein synthesis is blocked. And partly the cell is dying because of absence of sodium gradient across the cell membrane. The cell cannot import certain nutrients such as amino acids. That's also a kind of cause of the death. So such poisons provide early evidence for the existence of ion pump. तो 2,4 जितने भी pump की discovery हुई, that is because of treatment with the certain toxic drugs, toxic chemicals. So what about the ABC superfamily? That is called as the ATP binding cassette. Each ABC protein is specific for a single substrate or group of better substance. All ABC transporter protein contain 4 core domains, 2 transmembrane domain, which form a pathway for cellular movement and determining substrate specificity, and 2 cytosolic ATP binding domain. Okay, so include more than 100 different transport proteins from bacteria to humans, and it includes bacterial amino acid and sugar permease. इसका नाम सुना होगा. Permease is the good example of
transport का चार
sugar
ABC
permease.
transport is 4 domain, 2 transmembrane domain, and another 2 cytosolic ATP binding domain.
हाँ, 2T plus 2A.
तो यानी कि सर साइटोसोलिक ATP जो साइटोसोलिक डोमेन.
हाँ, 2 cytosolic 2 transmembrane. तो ये एग्जांपल है परमीज का. परमीज. एंड सबसे बड़ा जो क्वेश्चन सीएसआर में पूछा जाता है वो भी एबीसी ट्रांसपोर्टर है, एंड दैट क्वेश्चन इज रिलेटेड टू एमडीआर, mammalian MDR protein, है ना, which is going to export a wide variety of drug from the cells. And एक और क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है CFTR प्रोटीन, क्लोराइड चैनल दैट डिफेक्टिव इन सिस्टिक फाइब्रोसिस. ये इसी साल शायद पूछा गया था, है ना, कि CFTR is a chloride channel that defect in cystic fibrosis.
तो कॉलरा टॉक्सिन में भी अगर जो टॉक्सिन बाइंड हो जाता है तो देन क्लोरीन चैनल जो ओपन हो जाता है, फिर फ्रॉम द सेल टू आउटसाइड क्लोरीन बाहर हो, अलोंग विद दैट फिर H2O भी जाता है, देन डायरिया वगैरह हो.
तो एबीसी ट्रांसपोर्टर को भी 3 क्लास में बांटा गया है. वन इज द एबीसी इंपोर्टर टाइप 1, ABC importer type 2, and then ABC exporter जो कि MDR का पार्ट है. Right, the nutrient uptake, for example, vitamin B12, helium, siderophores is the function of type 2. Type 1 nutrient uptake, sugar, iron, amino acids. Okay, so 2 type of glucose transports enables gut epithelial cell to transfer glucose across the gut line. Low glucose concentration, here you can see. Low glucose concentration in gut ligament, then sodium driven glucose import, right, and then high glucose concentration, and then again the low glucose concentration. Glucose is released for uses by the tissue, and here is the transporter mediated passive transport of glucose. यहाँ sodium driven glucose transport है gut ligament में, लेकिन यहाँ पे passive transport हो रहा है carrier में, ठीक है, यहाँ भी sodium driven pump है. Okay, so both the mechanism is operating to maintain either high level or low level. तो low level कहाँ पे maintain कर रहे हैं, जहाँ पे digestion होके ग्लूकोज आ रहा है, so that should be low level. वो transport हो रहा है सीधे जहाँ पे digestion होना है, right? Glucose is actively transported into cell by sodium driven glucose import. ये नोट कर लो.
तो
ये
यानी
वहाँ
कि
पे
फिर ये सर ल्यूमेन में ग्लूकोज जो है लो टू हाई जा रहा है,
हाँ, ल्यूमन
विद
गट
द हेल्प
ल्यूमन
ऑफ
में
सोडियम। पर यहाँ पे
यहाँ पे हाई है, लेकिन इसको लो किया जा रहा है बाय द ट्रांसपोर्ट, एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट. हाई टू लो आएगा ना,
अच्छा,
ट्रांसपोर्ट कैसे होगा,
हाँ
हाई
ये
टू
तो
लो. अब ट्रांसपोर्टर क्या करेगा, यहाँ पे ट्रांसपोर्ट करना फटाफट शुरू करेगा, भाई यहाँ पे लो हो जाए, तो ये अल्टीमेटली रिजल्ट दिखा रहा है. दिस इज लो, नाउ दिस इज हाई. एक्चुअली में यहाँ पे हाई है, यहाँ पे लो है ना. तो ग्लूकोज इज एक्टिवली ट्रांसपोर्टेड इनटू सेल बाय सोडियम ड्रिवन ग्लूकोज इंपोर्ट. तो सोडियम के साथ ग्लूकोज आ रहा है, जितना मॉलिक्यूल सोडियम आएगा उतना मॉलिक्यूल ग्लूकोज आएगा. दिस इज द एक्टिव ट्रांसपोर्ट. यही क्वेश्चन पूछा था वहां पे, जो हम लोग कंफ्यूज हो रहे थे. सिंपोर्ट का एग्जाम्पल है ना. Two type of glucose transporter are kept segregated in plasma membrane by the tight junction. Tight junction को अलग रखता है. And to keep the concentration of sodium in the cytosol low, sodium that enter the cell via the sodium driven glucose import is pumped out of sodium potassium pump. तो जो अंदर आया हुआ है सोडियम, अब वो हाई हो गया उसका कंसेंट्रेशन, तो उसको फटाफट सोडियम पोटेशियम पंप के थ्रू बाहर करना. तो दिस इज द मैकेनिज्म, है ना. दिस मैकेनिज्म एक भी चल रहा है, दैट इज द सोडियम ग्लूकोज इंपोर्ट, और दूसरी तरफ सोडियम पोटेशियम पंप भी चल रहा है, ताकि सोडियम कंसेंट्रेशन को हम लो रख सकें, तो पोटेशियम का लेवल वहां पे ठीक हो जाएगा. ओके, सो नाउ यू कैन सी द एनिमल सेल. Lysosome is going to maintain the high level of proton inside the lysosome. And how this is going to be maintained, sodium driven import, sodium present ATPase, right? And then via the ATP, the proton is pumped via the proton ATPase. Plant cell में single function fancy, हाँ यहाँ पे sodium driven import है, यहाँ पे proton driven import. Okay. So proton is coming with the solute, and the higher level is maintained in the vacuole via HATPase. The plant cell, both the animal and plant cell have the V type of pump, V pump.
लो टू हाई जा रहा है, तभी एटीपी का यूज हो रहा है.
हाँ, ये लो टू हाई जाएगा तभी ATP का यूज होगा.
वैक्यूल.
हाँ, active. So this is the example of transport. कितना एग्जॉस्टिव है, आई वाज, है ना. चलो अच्छा ये था कि मुझे पूरे दिन मिला रिसर्च करने को. फुल डे आई डिड रिसर्च दिस टॉपिक. So this is the overview of transporter, the location, energy source, function, right? We have discussed bacterial adoption, नहीं डिस्कस किया. ये भी पूछा हुआ है, bacterial adoption is an example of transporter or not, and how they are transporting. So energy source light, they are actually exporting the proton. ये example है जो हमने डिस्कस नहीं किया था, and rest all I think we have discussed. Okay, bacterial adoption left. तो आपको CCR के लिए ना everything is minute details required.
तीसरा वाला फिर से वर्क करिए.
चलिए, तो कितने बच्चे, सारे बच्चे चले गए, वाह.
प्रीवियस स्लाइड.
हाँ प्रीवियस आ गए. टीचर इज टीचिंग, स्टूडेंट इज लिविंग. कैसे निकलेगा CSR यार. व्हेन द टीचर इज डूइंग हार्ड वर्क, तो टीचर का ही निकलेगा.
सर रिकॉर्डेड वीडियो देख लेंगे बच्चे.
नहीं ऐसा, आज तो बहुत सारे बच्चे आए थे ना जो कि रजिस्टर्ड नहीं है.
Sir, I am here, sir.
Just
So when will the
Yes,
presentation
yes.
end, sir? Because I have exam tomorrow, sir.
Okay. So what you are asking?
Hello. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes,
When
yes,
will
you are
the
audible.
presentation end, sir, today?
So just it's I'm giving the overview on all type of transporters.
Okay, sir. Because I have exam tomorrow, sir. Internal exam.
You can leave. You can leave. No problem. I have
Okay,
discussed
sir. Sir,
most
the
of
next.
them. Uh,
Okay, sir. What about the next class, sir?
Everyday class is going on. Tomorrow
Okay,
we'll also
sir.
have the class. Till Friday we are constantly having the classes, and then we will have the mock test on the Saturday or Sunday. So both they will be the mock test,
Okay, sir.
Saturday as well as Sunday.
For this, should we need to pay anything, sir? Because should we need
First
to take
mock,
subscription or?
yes. First mock test is free, but you have to subscribe in the full course if you need. That is 599, 5999. Sorry. Okay, for the full course.
It's for how many months, sir? 599?
It's till you want, till July we are running this course, till your examination date is
Okay,
declared.
sir.
Okay. So
Okay.
idea is to
Thank you, sir.
give you the complete package so that you can get your goal, not leaving you in between.
Okay, sir.
So we are not measuring
Okay,
the
sir,
month
sure.
and time.
Okay, sir.
So you can
Okay,
leave
sir.
now.
Thank you, sir.
Everything.
Can I leave?
Yes, you can leave. But we are discussing. We are continuing in the details, experimental part, and so many things.
Okay,
So you
sir.
can leave. So I will
Okay,
provide you the
sir.
video, and if you are missed anything, you can watch that video and you will cover that part. No issue.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Recording is on. You can see recording is on.
Okay, sir.
So I will provide you
Okay,
recording.
sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. And possibly we will discuss tomorrow the class. I'm ending here. Okay. So that will be the
Okay,
main
sir.
thing. Okay. Thank you so much.